Good evening. Welcome to Slice by Bryce, the podcast. This is episode 4. I have a very special guest today. His name is Rafe Blades. How you doing today, bro?
What's going on, Bryce?
Good. So I've been knowing Rafe for a minute from the Met at the Wellness Center. He's one of the regulars over there. One thing I can say about Rafe is he's definitely a fitness enthusiast like myself. I know he's kind of a jack of all trades. He's ran his fair share of races. He's done some bodybuilding competitions. He went through Nichols just like me. He has a background playing basketball there. Does a little bit of everything. He has a great work ethic. I can say a lot like myself. Like he makes the time for the gym. He's dedicated. I see him in there sometimes twice a day. He's not a stranger to hard work. Not a stranger to grinding. And that's something I admire. So Rafe, I'm gonna let you take over right here. Just give the audience a little background on your history as far as fitness, education, your time at Nichols, the races that you've done, bodybuilding.
Yeah, so born and raised in Thibodaux, Louisiana. Went to E. White, right down the road from Nichols. Wasn't highly recruited in high school. The only Division I college that I was gonna be able to play at was at Nichols. So I stayed in Thibodaux, went to Nichols. Graduated from Nichols with my bachelor's in interdisciplinary studies, and then hopped right back into it and got a master's from Nichols as well. I got a master's in higher ed, leadership. Yeah. Okay. Been working out at the Wellness Center for
probably since as long as I've been 8 years.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that long. I started working out hard COVID. Mm-hmm. So 2020 is really when I started hitting it pretty hard.
Up. Yeah. The energy up.
But I didn't start in the Wellness Center. I started in a little shed. Mm-hmm. With Brett Hines? You know Brett?
Yeah.
So Brett had this little shed where everybody would work out at, and I started going there just because this COVID and didn't have anything else to do. And man, kind of got hooked there. I got hooked for a reason that's kind of odd. Man, they had a whiteboard in there. Okay, and look, when I was in college, I was 170. I'm 6'4". Mm-hmm. I was 175. I didn't have no muscle.
And maybe playing basketball, y'all didn't do any weight training?
No, we did, but
it's like sporadic.
I hated it.
Yeah.
I didn't have the work ethic that I did. Yeah. I hated it, so I would pretty much do the bare at the time. Until I found it myself. And then, like I said, they had a whiteboard. Mm-hmm. And all these guys lifting their whole life.
Right.
Pumping, and they had all their maxes on everything. And we would rank them. And I was last in every single one. And I was like,
you got to do something.
I got to do something about that. So that's the reason I continue to lift, was just so I can move up on that whiteboard. Mm-hmm.
And prove yourself.
I can say I'm stronger than most of those guys now. Which is full circle. There's a few bigger guys that probably could outlift me, but that's the reason I got into it. I was just sitting at home doing nothing, and these guys were working out in the shed. Mm-hmm. And probably about a year later, I joined the Wellness Center and started working out there.
So you've been working out for a good portion of your life, but you didn't really get serious with it till COVID.
So I guess the basketball workouts were more geared toward cardio and
agility.
Yeah, it wasn't like you're going in there. I mean, we would bench press and stuff, but it'd be more like, I guess, like cleaning actions and like clean pull, like trying to get
Olympic lifts.
No, exactly. Yeah, trying
full body stuff.
Yeah, that's what it was. It wasn't like we're going in here and heavy squatting,
or
bench pressing and doing chest flies. Like we weren't doing that. We were running a lot. Running
so suicide.
Oh yeah, man, we had this thing called the campus run. And he would give you a time. Our coach would give us a time to finish it. And it was a 2.5 mile run. At the time, it was 2.5 miles was a lot for me.
Yeah.
and I would dread it. And then if you didn't make your time, you had to run it again.
Right.
So there'd be times when people ran it 2 or 3 times
until they sick.
Oh, it was miserable.
Yeah.
It was miserable at the time.
Right.
I would like that now.
Right. Yeah. Looking back, that's probably like a cakewalk. Right.
Yeah. 2.5 miles of warm up right now. So yeah, just a little background on me.
Right. So, kind of like Rafe, I think my passion for fitness started out the same way. Whenever I was in high school, I remember my mom was working at Sears at the time, and they were giving away this big shed. So my mom and dad took it, put it in the backyard. I had already started working out before that. I was like 13, 14, going into high school. I had like one of those little plastic weight sets that you would get from Kmart. I started messing with that. Me and my brother was big in the weightlifting. He kind of pushed me into it. And I'm glad he did, looking back. So I started working out with that. And, I enjoyed it. I spent hours and hours working out. It became like a healthy obsession, I would say. So when I was in high school, my parents got this shed in the backyard, and I set up a little weight room. And whenever I was in high school, I was playing football at the time. Whenever I was a freshman, I was a scrawny kid, So I wanted to get bigger. And I remember that year, I got the shed, so I would work out in football. We would do our drills, do our weightlifting, whatever. I'll come home, get back in the shed, and I always felt like I had to do more and more. Like it was never enough. So I would go down to the bench, I would hit the curls, dumbbell curls, do more squats. It just became a habit. It was a healthy habit, healthy obsession, and that carried through high school all the way to today. It's just a big part of my life, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I've had my ups and downs over the years, with hurricanes, COVID, all that. But I try to stay consistent as I can, and I feel like fitness will always be a big part of my life. And I'm sure with Rafe, it's the same way for you. It's kind of like therapy in a way.
No, in a way, man, it is right. My therapy.
It is, yeah, it is. It's a good healthy habit to have.
What about like with you? Would you say like so with me? Like if I'm like, so say I have a long day at work, and I'm like, man, I don't feel like going to the gym. Like if I miss the gym, I'm like, it ruins my day. Like I have to be there, and I don't miss the gym often. Like I'm usually 7 days a week. Sometimes, like you said, multiple times a day.
Right.
Which I don't know if it's healthy, but I need it like here.
Right.
Like I do.
I'm absolutely the same way. I miss a day, 2 days. It's gonna be on my mind. Yeah. I'm gonna go to sleep at night. I'm gonna be thinking about. I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna get in the gym and kill it tomorrow. Yeah. It's like just hungry.
I'm just
and
it's bad.
What about
it's
a bad? What's that?
Does it ever get you like in a set? So say like, you're like I'm gonna hit 12. This happened. Maybe this might not be as common.
You fail.
If I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hit 10. I only hit like 6. Mm-hmm. I'll get home and I'll be like, no. I'll start like repping out push-ups. Yeah. Oh no, you didn't do enough. Right. I'll start hitting other workouts.
Oh, absolutely. I'll start replaying that in my mind. I'm like, all right, I'm like, man, I'm gonna do this next time. Gotta be prepared next time.
Yeah.
It'll really bother you. I mean, it's a good and a bad. You don't want to overthink anything. You don't want anything to stress you out. But at the end of the day, you just want to strive to be better.
Yeah, I like how you call it a healthy obsession.
I'm still
that.
So I know you also you've done some races in the past and bodybuilding competitions. Just kind of brush up on that. As far as your history with those.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle of it right now. I just recently discovered ultra marathons. Mm-hmm. So for anybody not familiar with an ultra marathon is anything farther than a marathon. Mm-hmm. So my first organized race was an ultra marathon. And I'm not a runner. Like I said earlier, like 2.5 miles for me when I was in college was a lot. Yeah. So you know Ben Grow, a really good buddy of mine. We had started. First of all, we had read some books. I had read some books and learned about ultra marathons. And my dad was a runner. He was a marathoner, and I think he's ran 6 or 7 marathons. So without him, I wouldn't have known what an ultra marathon was. But just from him, I was informed of a guy named Dean Karnazes. He's an ultra marathon runner. Man, he's ran across the United States before. So I read his book, and I'm like, man, I want to run an ultra marathon.
Right.
And then I read both the David Goggins books, and I'm like, we got to run an ultra marathon. So I'm texting Ben like, hey, let's run an ultra marathon. Let's run an ultra marathon. And he's like, no, I'm not doing that.
David Goggins will have you ready to run an ultra marathon right on the spot.
That's what I wanted to do.
Read that.
But so Ben declined. And then a few months later, we were both kind of going through some hard times. He texted me out of the blue. He was like, hey, let's run an ultra marathon. I'm like, hell yeah, this is what I've been waiting for. Let's do it. Thinking like it would be, 2 or 3 months to train. He's like, it's in 2 weeks.
Right.
I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Balls to the wall.
So we did our first ultra marathon in New Orleans. It's called the New Orleans Ultra Marathon. They put on a great race. We ran it twice. And yeah, 2 weeks, very minimum training. We decided to just hop in, and we ran 31 miles in a little bit over 6.5 hours. And
solid.
Yeah, from there I was hooked. And I wanted 50 miles bad.
It became another healthy obsession.
I don't even know if it's healthy. Yeah. I wanted 50 miles after that. Like immediately, I think it was like a month and a half later, I'm like, let's run this 50-mile race.
Right.
Man, and we signed up for it, and it was a trail race. So the first race was a street race, all on concrete. So, we're used to that in South Louisiana. There's no hills, no roofs.
Right. Flat terrain, swamps everywhere.
Exactly. So we signed up for a race in Louisiana thinking it was a trail race, thinking that it would be flat. It ended up not being flat at all. So we trained for 2 months on the street to run a 50-mile race in the trails, and it was miserable. It completely tore us up.
I think I remember y'all talking about that like the day after.
It was bad.
I remember Ben, that expression on Ben's face. Like, what did I get myself into?
It was bad. So we got 45 miles in, and then the race director came find us and was like, hey, y'all got to stop. We were pretty beat up. Ben was still pushing. Ben was like, the tree, everything was moving for him.
Hallucinating and stuff.
It was crazy stuff. So we didn't finish that race. Now, we did run 45 miles. So, and we did 8,000 feet of elevation change, which is a lot.
Right.
Considering I trained for 0.
Right.
So, I'm proud of what we did in that race, but we didn't do it. So we didn't finish our 50. We DNF'd it. And like we were talking about earlier, that just sits on your mind. I'm like,
probably still think about it today.
Well, I had to make it right. So about a month later, we ran our next 50 miler, which is a race that we created. So there's not many 50-mile races in the South, let alone Louisiana. There's a handful, like maybe 4 or 5 a year. And I was ready to do it right there. I want to do it right now. So I wasn't waiting 6 months to run 50 miles.
Right.
So me and Ben actually decided to make our own race, and we made it an official race. So we got it, approved to become an official race. It was a virtual race, so you could sign up from anywhere. And the way it worked was, you got 24 hours. You run as far as you want, and however long it takes you. And the rules is, the farther you go, the higher you rank. So we did that, and it was a charity race. We did it in honor of our grandparents who both died from cancer. Sharon Blades and Ronnie Cooper. That's our grandparents' names, and we in 5 days we raised over $1,000.
Incredible.
Yeah, it was very rewarding, and ran 50 miles in 15 hours.
Right.
It was brutal, and still hooked. Yeah, we're still hooked on it. Just ran the New Orleans Ultra. Ran another 31-mile race a few weeks ago. In Biloxi. It was awesome. And now we're training for a 100-mile race. Yeah, he bodybuilding. He put some stipulations on that 50-mile race. He was like, if I run this 50-mile race with you again, you have to do a bodybuilding show with me. So that's how I got
transition going from that to.
That's how I got into bodybuilding.
Then that was, I remember, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
No, so I just did one. I did one. Man, when was that? July of last year. So less than a year.
And one thing about bodybuilding, that's a lot of discipline. Like diet, your exercise regimen, you're just timing everything out right. It takes a lot. A lot of people don't realize how much discipline that takes. I remember Rafe approached me one day. He's like, "Hey, man, you should do a bodybuilding show." I was like, "Man, I thought about it." I was like, with my work schedule, and I was like, it'll be hard, but I think in the future, I will be open to something like that. But it's a lot of dedication. Oh, you got to be all in or nothing.
It's just as hard as ultra marathon.
Yeah, I can
the
imagine.
dieting and the stress. Mm-hmm. Oh man, it was brutal.
You gotta have that mentality. Just like all
and it's terrifying too, man. Like you're getting like we did one of the largest shows in Louisiana, mm-hmm. and man, I got on stage and it was in an auditorium, three-story auditorium, packed, sold out. Right. I'm on stage and like you're shaking because you're dehydrated, you haven't drank water in a day, and it's very hard.
Yeah,
very hard.
Your body's in shock.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, so I mean that's one thing. It's tough, doing stuff like that. Brutal. You gotta be willing to put the work in every day.
Brutal.
For months and months. So what are some of like your future goals and aspirations? Do you have anything big coming up?
Yeah, we do. So like I said, me and Ben put on that race last year where we raised, $1,000 and over $1,000 in 5 days. And, we got put in Louisiana Life magazine. We got covered by Value Sports, which is a local sports guy around here, wrote an article on us. And now, podcasts like this allowing me to be able to put my, put my words out there. It's been very rewarding. So we plan on doing it again. We haven't even announced the dates yet. But in July, we decided that we're going to do a 3-day event. It's the Bayou Endurance Challenge. That's the name of our event. And our goal is we're going to run 33.3 miles every day for 3 days. Mm-hmm. So that adding that up, that'd be 100 miles.
Okay.
And we're doing that in preparation for another race we're going to put on in December, where we're going to run 100 miles straight. Okay. And both of these races are going to be for charity. Okay. So our first race we're going to do, again, for our grandparents in cancer. We're going to raise money for the American Cancer Society. Mm-hmm. And then in December, I believe we're planning to raise money for children and families who can't afford Christmas presents.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's the plan right now. So right now, in the smack dab in the middle of training for a 100-mile race.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna work my way up to 100 miles one day. I know, like I told you, I'm training for the Crescent City Classic right now. So this is the only other race I've done in the past. I've done 5Ks. I've never done a 10K before. This is a 10K race. So I'm definitely looking forward to the experience of me and my sister running it together. I definitely, like I said earlier, I've been incorporating more running into my workouts. I've always been big into weight training. Yeah. Running since I was in college is something I just kind of slacked off on. But over the past few months, I've been kind of training for this 10K, and I'm kind of been doing like some intervals. Like I'll do some days I'll do sprints.
Yeah, I've seen you running in the gym.
Yeah. I just run laps on the track.
I see you.
And I'm just trying to build up. Right now, I'm about to where I can run 3 miles straight, jog 3 miles straight.
Yeah.
But before the race, it's on April 19th. I want to get to the point where I can just run 6 miles straight.
Yeah. Did you
improving that time?
Did you end up buying any like nice running shoes at all?
So I do have some Brooks.
Yeah,
Brooks are the best. I haven't worn in a while.
Brooks are the best.
I've been wearing. Yeah, I know like Brooks and Hoka's are some of the best when it comes to running and walking.
Yeah. I tried Hoka's, Brooks, and that's all I tried. Mm-hmm. I had 2 pair of Brooks, and they've both been the best.
Yeah, Brooks, Hoka's. They got a few others.
Ben runs in On Clouds.
On Clouds, yeah, On Clouds are comfortable.
Yeah, he likes them.
Yeah, some models of New Balance are good for running too. Not all of them. Some different ones that they have.
Yeah, I try to get a wide toe box. The mileage that I'm running, your feet swell up. Mm-hmm. So I like having room for my feet to be able to swell up.
Right.
But like those 10Ks, like you're trying to get after it too. Those slim, like,
right. You're gonna be hurting the next day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no doubt.
So, what would you say is 3 things that inspire you?
Just
in general, for fitness, just life in general.
Yeah, number one would definitely be my family. You know, I mentioned my dad earlier. You know, he was a marathon runner, and he worked his ass off to where he is. My mom as well. Oh my mom is the definition of love. She taught me what love is, and everybody else in my family. My sister is in chiropractic school. You know, she's about to become a doctor, which is like, I know she's my little sister, but you know, in a sense, she pushes me to be better. And then my brother, he's he's huge into fitness too, and is getting his degree right now at UL. So everybody in my family definitely pushes me to be better. And when I say family too, I got to mention the girlfriend. She's up in Arkansas right now, getting her master's in respiratory therapy. So she's pushing herself really hard right now, and that makes me want to be better as well. So everybody that I try to surround myself with is somebody that pushes me to be better. I try to keep my circle. I wouldn't say tight because I have a wide variety of friends, but everybody in my friend group makes me want to be better. Family as well. Two, I would say just successful people in general. Man, like I like our community in the gym. Like everybody in there is trying to get better.
Fit to.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I'm serious. That's why I love Thibodeau. It's because like stuff like that. I can go in the gym and I know everybody.
Everybody's working.
And everybody's working their ass off. And I love that.
Right.
What else inspires me? Yeah. This is a bit odd, off topic. But like people coming up to me and being like a few weeks ago, I was downtown Thibodeau at a King Cake Festival, it was, and I had somebody walk up to me and say, "Hey, you're the reason I started running." And I'm like that makes me want to keep doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And I know I don't have this huge following, and I don't care. Like if I that don't bother me. If I reach one person and push one person to be better, then I'm doing my job, and that makes me want to keep doing what I'm doing. So yeah, that's three things that really inspire me. Yeah.
So a lot like Rafe, I would say, of course, family. Family means everything to me. I love spending quality time with my family whenever I can. Another thing, of course, God. Gotta give thanks first. And kind of like Rafe was saying, like I like making a different positive impact in people's lives. With personal training, I've been doing it as long as I have. I built up my clientele over time. And a lot like Rafe, when I go out in the community, sometimes people come up to me like, "Yeah, you remember this? Like when you taught me how to do this, I've been doing it ever since. My back pain's gone away, or I remember training me 5 years ago. I just lost 100 pounds. I've been using the workouts you showed me. I'm like, damn. I'm like, I guess you don't realize, because I don't think that much into it, but you really make a big difference in people's lives with doing the things that we do. Fitness, just leading by example, being good role models. I've always been a hard worker, just like Rafe. All my life, I've had the motto of there might be people that are bigger, smarter, faster than me, but I'm not gonna let anybody outwork me or out hustle me. And I enjoy doing what I do with personal training, with the meal prepping, and the list goes on. And I will say another thing that inspires me is thinking of my future self 20, 30 years from now. I just want to be able to look back and say, I'm proud of that kid or proud of that young man for what he was doing. And I'm sure I will be.
Yeah, but, that's awesome. I just piggybacking on that. Like, I like the term front loading. I call it front loading because, you always run into people, even at the gym, you run into people all the time are like, man, one day I'll run an ultra marathon. One day I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, sure. I hear that all the time.
Right.
Do it.
They don't realize,
do it. Front load. Like, you're going to be, next thing you know it, you're going to be 40 years old looking back in your life in your 20s, and you're going to be like, oh, man, I wish I had done that. So front load. You're if somebody's like, oh, I want to sign up for an ultra marathon. I want to do this ultra marathon.
Do it.
Sign up for
Don't
it.
think about it.
Sign up for it. Do it.
Do it.
Front load. Yeah.
Because the more you hesitate, the more you think about it, the bigger the chance that you never end up even doing it or attempting it. All right, so it's the weekend, bro. You do cheat meals?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your go-to cheat meal?
Yeah, man. So I'm not even gonna lie. Like training with this for this 100-mile race, I'm trying to put on some fat right now. So I'm kind of eating like crap. But
pieces.
Yeah, I'll eat a lot of carbs. But yeah, when I was really training and counting macros, and when I'd have those cheat meals, man, Taco Bell. I don't know why, but I love Taco Bell. I get Mexican pizza. It's so good. It's so good. So many people hate on Taco Bell, but I love it. Taco Bell to go to.
It's cheap, man. Like you could go to. I mean, it used to be you could go to Taco Bell $5.
Yeah,
like I was like 10, but still, I mean, it's cheaper than most places.
Yeah,
most fast food places.
What about you? What's your cheap, man?
So I do like Taco Bell too. Like, I had some Saturday.
What'd you get?
So I had I got 2 nachos Bel Grandes to start out. I got 2 of those spicy potato tacos. I got a rice and bean burrito.
Those rice and bean burritos are good.
Oh yeah, and then a regular soft taco. So I had more than my fair share. I was. It's pretty rough for a little while after that.
No, man, it's worth it.
It was worth it because I haven't had it in so long.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Other than Taco Bell, man, I enjoy. I love Italian. I love Mexican and Italian food. If I had to choose between, it's really a toss up. But I'll have to go Mexican. Go to La Casa, give me some enchiladas.
Are you a La Casa guy?
Yeah,
I'm an El Paso guy. Their chips and dips way better than Casa.
I do like that black beans.
I do too.
At El Paso, it goes hard. But and then the La Casa margaritas.
What's your favorite healthy meal?
Healthy meal?
Yeah,
that's a good one. I like keeping it simple, man. Like when it comes to fish, I feel like fish is the best quality protein because you get like those. You also get the omega-3s. You got a lot of different vitamins with the fish. I like a good salmon. Good salmon.
I like salmon.
I'll do like grilled broccoli, grilled Brussels sprouts, the sweet potato bites. I'll chop them up, cube them up, and roast them. A little bit of butter, a little salt and pepper. Like I said, I don't get too fancy. And a lot of times, like the salmon, like I'll cook it. I'll do like some teriyaki sauce or something like that.
No, that's good stuff.
Yeah. What about you?
Fish is good. That's what I've had fish the past 2 days. I don't know. Buffalo chicken for me is really good, and rice.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just cook some. I'm not like a chef like you. I see you whipping it up, man. My stuff is so plain. So I'll just cook some, chicken tenderloins and rice, and then I'll pour some buffalo sauce on the side and just dip the buffalo sauce. But yeah, I love buffalo sauce. So it's still good to me.
Oh, yeah, so it's low in calories.
I'll make I'll get fancy with it every now and then. Make a buffalo wrap.
Right.
That's fancy for me.
Oh man, you go to Rouse's, get you one of the rotisserie chickens.
Oh yeah,
chop that shit up, make you some wraps.
That's what I use. Yeah,
sandwiches.
That's what I use.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
No.
It's time efficient. You gotta worry about sitting there cooking everything. So Rafe, what's if somebody wants to reach out to you on social media? What's a good handle for you?
Yeah, I got 2 on Instagram. I got Rafe B Fitness, and then my regular Instagram is just Rafe B. So just Rafe Blades on everything is where you find me, and not many people have that name, so it's pretty easy to find me.
It's unique,
yeah,
for sure.
So,
all right, brother. I appreciate you coming on today.
I appreciate you.
It was great, man. Yeah. I'm sure I'll see you in the gym.
Oh, yeah, you see me. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I really do.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. Till next time.